Well, hello, happy Friday! Hey, Alexa, turn off the south light. Hope everything's going good. It's another day in paradise. You know, people wonder that sometimes when I say that because I always say it wherever I'm at. And to me, paradise is wherever you are at the moment. So it's all paradise. Um, Lost a good friend last night, Angie Schuster. She was all excited about getting her new scooter, and I don't know, things were going on great, but she passed in her sleep, which is everybody's dream, I think. So, um, sorry to hear about that. It was sad. She was at my party, the luau party, the Hawaii party with the steamers, and she seemed fine, and she was running around, and everybody was chatting with her, so that was great. But Sharon McCoy, sorry about Angie, yes. And so, yeah, on a brighter note, I guess, um, the this Thursday, okay, the 23rd, I'm having karaoke on the lawn in my front yard from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Bring a chair. And I did it before, and it was a blast. People really had a fun time. So Thursday night, 7 to 9 in my front yard, karaoke on the lawn, and we're gonna try to make it like an oldies theme. Hello, Patricia. Happy Friday. And doesn't mean you have to sing. You don't have to sing. But if you sing, you don't have to sing an oldie. But we're just trying to get people to play more oldies or sing more oldies for that night. We're going to do it again, and we'll do like a country night or something, or a Beatles night or something like that. So, and then hopefully it doesn't get too cold. And so we can't do it during the winter, but we'll see what we can do. Hello, Lisa. And what else? Let's see. Well, there's a bunch of ships off the coast that are going to be doing a big exercise, I guess, over the weekend. But I don't want to get into that too much because it gets way too political. I made a statement that I liked hearing the jets flying over and seeing them, but it started to turn political, and that wasn't the idea. It's just I enjoyed it. I like seeing those things fly. Whew. So my RV, my RV's in the shop. The check engine light came on a couple of times while I was on my last trip, and I was coming home. And I'm going like 35 miles an hour up these hills, and the semis are going like 55, 60 miles an hour. And I'm like, oh my God. And it's got like a hissing sound. So it's a catalytic converter code and an EGR code. So catalytic converter, they said, is like $1,000 plus $300 to put it in. Plus, I don't know what the EGR costs. And they're gonna like tack weld the exhaust of my generator and a couple other little things, but probably can't get the cat till Tuesday or Wednesday, so it'll be sitting over there in their shop for a few days. So if you don't see it here, it's not that I'm on vacation. It's RV's being worked on. I wish I was on vacation again. I got some trips planned though. One for December, one for January, one for February, one for March. Oh my gosh. Okay, I guess the first of the year I'll be busy. Okay, well, I got 619, 620 right there. And I gotta open the book and find the spot. Here we go. Hey, Mr. Mouse. Come on, Mr. Mouse. Work. Here we go. Gotta push that. So I hope this is all coming through good. Like I say, I moved to T-Mobile, and I'm trying that instead of the expensive AT&T fiber optic. So if this all works out, I can save about $100 a month. Okay, last week it just cut off. So I don't know what happened, but it cut off right in the middle of the sentence, and I was saying, but I noticed that the gas gauge was only registering quarter full. We met Rosa and the new nurse and Sorgen Jensen from Denmark. He had been working 3 weeks doing cultivating, helping to fix roofs, and putting up gutters. They call them canals, to catch rainwater so that the campesinos didn't have to carry water a quarter to a half a mile. We found that the water system for the clinic was not working due to two things: a brush fire that had the campesinos had set was not watched carefully and burned holes in the plastic pipe on top of the ground in places. The hydraulic ram pump had broken. A small part had to be taken to San Pedro Sula for welding repair. We saw only 2 patients that day. Felix showed us a nice crop of pineapples in the garden and the new fence and nesting and roosting areas for the 8 hens and 1 rooster. The 27th of April, we treated Hilda's mother for a dog bite on her calf from the day before. Hilda was the clinic cook. We started her on diaxicillin, cleaned and dressed the wound, and Phoenix took her to the Centro de Sol in La Habana, for a tetanus shot, but they were out of it. Friday, the 28th, Felix butchered a 6-month-old goat, and we had some for lunch and dinner. We saw only 6 patients that day. I saw 11 galvanines, a kind of hawk we call kites. They were fun to watch circling and diving. Friday, the 29th, we were up at 6. Betty had coffee and I had tea, and ready to leave shortly after that. We saw 4 patients and left about 8 with 14 of us in the pickup. Wow. And picked up 8 more at the gate at the bottom of the hill. 14 and 8 in the pickup. Wow. Most of them got off at the highway at La Habana. We arrived at Suburan about 10. We saw 5 patients in short order. We learned that the son-in-law of Don George, a neighbor, had been killed by a pistol shot 3 days before in La Habana by a man from Minas de Corban. We didn't learn the circumstances. Wow, bummer. Sunday, the 1st of May, 1994, the Subaru had a low tire, so I changed it for the spare. Max arrived before Sunday school without his car. He didn't say what happened to it. I finished reading Happy Are the Peacemakers by John MacArthur. Monday, the 2nd of May, 1994, we were up early and drove the Subaru to San Pedro Sula by 8. We got lots of mail out of the P.O. box for AIEH. Dr. Joyce and Exormara were there, and we learned that Exormara was working at the nutrition center, and she and Dr. Joyce were planning to go to Pinaho the next day in the car if the car was fixed. It developed an intermittent electrical short and burned out ignition fuses after Luis, Christina, and Diana hit a large bump on the way to Puerto Cortez, but never got there several days before. We called Linda in Guatemala City and talked about the three of us going to Puerto Lampera in July. She also told us that she and Rebecca were having to move because Rebecca's sister had to be moved back into her house that they were living in because their brother wanted to move back into the house that he owned and the sister was living in, so they were planning to rent a house in Zone 5, whatever Zone 5 is. Zone 5. Take one, well, in Zone 5. Next page, 389, 390. Take one every 4 hours to 6 hours for pain. That's weird. That's a weird sentence. It doesn't match. Voice of America reported a big upset of football, soccer. U.S. upset Colombia 2-1. North Korea said that they were shutting down their nuclear experiments. The 23rd, we invited to Don Horacio Melendez's house for dinner with him, his wife, Lucille, and Horacio, daughter, Anna, and her husband, Fidel, sons, David and Angel, and a cousin, Victor. Victor had been hired as groundskeeper and handyman at the clinic and had repaired the volleyball net, transplanted lilies to a bed in the circle near the back door of the clinic, giving more room to get the cars in and out of the yard, etc. We had appetizers of papaya, banana, and then delicious Honduran enchiladas similar to Mexican tostadas. They were made with mildly hard tortillas that were easy to pick up with cabbage, hard-boiled egg, tomato, mild salsa, and there was Coke or Pepsi to drink. Let's see what we got here. My mouse is acting up a little bit. Lisa, Jeffrey, sorry about it. Okay. I was just seeing if there was any comments I missed. Looks good. All right. The 24th, Martinez told us that the pig had returned with 2 piglets, and we saw them later. We saw 14 patients, and that evening we had a dinner party from 6 to 8 in our kitchen with Max, Betty, Horatio, Norma, Holda, Victor, and us. We passed around a box with 25 things in it, and each person was to write on a piece of paper as many things as they could remember that were in the box. Later, we all went to church, and Jackie preached. Then we showed our 25-minute video. The last time we showed it in Honduras. Saturday, the 25th, we were up at 5, had oatmeal for breakfast, washed dishes, cleaned up, repacked our luggage, and put it in the Subaru. At 7:05, Hula and Ovidio got in the car with us, and we left for San Pedro Sula. Near Moranzan, I braked for a herd of cattle in the road, and Ovidio vomited. Betty gave him a Dramamine tablet. We had refreshments at Santa Rita, and went on through El Progreso and spent nearly an hour finding Hulda's brother's place in Colonia on the outskirts of San Pedro Sula. She said that she had always gone there on the bus before and that things had changed since she had been there the last time. We next went to the post office and mailed letters and picked up mail for us, AIH, and Dr. Joyce. I went to Dr. Joyce's office and put most of our luggage in her bodega. We learned that her car's fuel system was being repaired and wouldn't be ready until the morning of the 27th. We then got medicines from Seaman Medical Warehouse and some office supplies for Dr. Joyce. We went to lunch at Grand Hotel Sula. ate there a lot, huh? Then walked across the street to the park where there were many vendors and looked for some souvenirs. We learned that Julia's brother, who was a taxi driver in Olanchito, had been killed the previous Monday morning for his car. Killed for his car? Huh. We went to the airport with Luis, found out that the wall hanging and the painting we had been given would cost $150 to send by LACSA courier or $50 by LACSA cargo to LAX. We would have to pick them up at the airport and carry them through customs there. After talking with Luis's dad, we decided to carry him with our other luggage when we flew home. Ooh, I'm overtime. Okay, well, that's that. I need to get out of here. I don't want to take up everybody's time too much. And I'll be here again next Friday. You guys have a wonderful week, and hopefully see you Thursday evening here at my house at 7 o'clock in the evening. Bonnie says, Happy Friday. Patricia says, and we'll have a karaoke party. Talk to you later. Bye. Come on, get to the thing that says